Hello, League. Welcome to the Week 4 recap. I am Commissioner, as always. A joyous time for me to go over last week's results. And I am very, very happy to report that one Christopher Michael Gazzera was able to get on the winner's board. He is now 1-3. Laporta Patti as Burr. Pat McCann falls to 1-3. Laporta Patti put up 130 points, more than 130 points. Lamar Jackson with 28. Stephon Diggs with 30. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee's nuts with 10.8. Adam Thielen, White Man Revival, 8.2. James Cook, 137. 13.7. He had a touchdown. I was going to say 137 yards, but he didn't need it. The Bills throttled the Miami Dolphins. And Gaz was one of the main beneficiaries of that. Now, poor Pat here didn't have a bad week. 97. You're always in it with 97. A.J. Brown went absolutely nuclear. It wasn't enough. It was just enough to offset what Stephon Diggs did, unfortunately for Pat. Bijan Robinson got 13.7. Off week for Kirk Cousins with only 11. Nobody else got double digits. So, Pat, could have got a few more points out of some guys. Keenan Allen at 9.2. It's not terrible. Christian Kirk at 8.4. It's not terrible. Rashad White is limited. But 97 for Pat wasn't enough this week. Christopher Michael Gazzera moves up to 1-3. I know he will be tuning in for the power rankings coming Thursday, or Wednesday, rather. I'll be making them tomorrow. I'm very proud of you, Christopher. This was a much-needed victory. You are back on the way, on the up and up. Speaking of the up and up, let's go to the down and down here. This is the lowest scoring matchup of the week. One of those somebody had to win. Pakuka Matata recently changed name versus Ryden Rico recently changed name. Andy advances to 2-2 as Tom falls for his first loss of the season to 3-1. Now, Andy, 74 points, 44 of them came from Puka Nacua and Brock Purdy. That was pretty much all his scoring. Alexander Madison was serviceable with 9.8. T. Higgins, once again, was a ghost. Joe Burrow looks lost. Garrett Wilson had 14 targets, but he only had 60 yards. So expect that to potentially change. But just as much as it was a tough week for Andy, it was a tougher week for Tom. 14.98 from Tua, his highest scorer. Second highest scorer was Butker with 12. Hard to win when your second highest scorer is your kicker, and his number is 12. Tom's started off 3-0. You can take a loss here. Only 66 points. Andy 74. So Andy advances once again to 2-2 as Tom falls to 3-1. Next, we go to our biggest, just a good old rear end whooping here. Wally Balls, Matt Stokes advances to 2-2 as Dylan AR-15 falls to 1-3. Dylan's got Anthony Richardson, who scored half his points. That's not hyperbole. That is fact. Half of his points were from Anthony Richardson. Damian Pierce got him 10.8. And then everybody else pretty much failed to contribute in any meaningful way. Justin Herbert, who continues to haunt me, got 24 points for Matt. Amon-Ra St. Brown, newly acquired, got 11.6. Christian McCaffrey with a 41 bomb. He let up at the end. He could have gone even more nuclear. He is insane. He is the greatest deodorant in fantasy football, along with Tyreek Hill. He just makes everybody look good. Stokes had Luke Musgrave get 0.1. It didn't matter. He put up a fucking 111 points with that. He put up 111 with 2 points from his defense, 5 points from his kicker. It was the Christian McCaffrey show and the Justin Herbert show. They got 75 of his 111. Matt needed a win here. He got one. Still falls to 1-3. It's going to be tough without Nick Chubb. Jalen Waddle, for some reason, is now an afterthought in Miami's offense. I don't get it. It's going to be tough. That was a healthy 50-ish point spread there. That's always tough. Now, moving on from that, let's move on to the Blair Witch Project. Kyle Kopp versus Sally Stubbs. Sal's new revamped team put up 118 points. Jordan Love, who kind of sucks but scores fantasy points, did pretty well. DJ Moore, 19 points. Chris Godwin had 114 receiving yards. Josh Jacobs came back from the dead, 19.9. Mark Andrews with a 20 bomb. Sal deserved to win this week. He had 17 from Baltimore D, 118 points. You deserve to win. You don't think you're going to win. You better win. But the Blair Witch Project was up to his witchy ways. Didn't get much from Trevor Lawrence. Hasn't really. Didn't get, even though he was London Trevor. Devontae Adams, 7.5. Not a ton, but hey, Nico Collins, talking about making the right start. That's the right start. Brandon Ayuk, man, 14.8. Derrick Henry, El Tractorcito, threw a touchdown pass. Whenever he's doing that, you're usually in a good spot. Raheem Mostert came back to earth. But the Dallas defense is probably like a top 5 player in fantasy this season. So Kyle's winning weeks by, that effect, and it's showing. He put up 126. He deserved to win. He's 3-1. Salvatore 1-3, but a revamped team. He's believing in things. I don't think there's any reason he shouldn't. Next, we're gonna go with my matchup against Luke. Now, look, poor Luke here. I don't usually say that, but 32 points from David Montgomery on Thursday Night Football. I got 1.4 from Aaron Jones. I think I had a 12% chance of winning at one point. And then the rest of Luke's team played. That's basically all I'll say. I put up 102. I, could have expected myself to win. Josh Allen carried me. Justin Jefferson did Justin Jefferson things. DeAndre Swift is him. I'm going to start Devon Achane now. Anybody wants Aaron Jones, feel free to contact me. Alvin Kamara, feel free to contact me. But yeah, I put up 102. I'll take it. I advanced to 3-1, but Luke, man, 32 points from David Montgomery, 24 from Jalen Hurts. That's 56 of his 84. He had somebody put up 32 and he didn't break 85. Man, stuff's sledding right now. Elijah Moore, 0 he had a negative 20-yard rush. Can't win with that. Can't coach with that. That's a 0. That's dust, as Luke says. Tough. Luke falls to 1-3. Needs a victory badly. And now to the final matchup of the week. Skinny Kyle versus I Am Knuff. This was the Battle of Hoboken. It did not live up to the hype. Mike Russell showed up. He did his normal thing where he scores a lot of points with Kyren Williams and Ken Walker. His wide receivers continue to be very touchdown dependent. Josh Palmer had a 50-yard catch at the end of the game. Otherwise, Russell's wide receivers probably would have been below 15 combined points. They were below 20 combined points if you add them up as they were. But you know what? He's got Elliott, who's a weapon as a kicker. Kyren Williams, who's going to be a league winner. Ken Walker, who's probably going to be a league winner. And Mahomes, who has the, benefit of playing with the refs. 97 points for Skinny Kyle here. And then Item Bag with just a, you know what? I give Tui credit. If you're going to stink up the joint, stink up the joint. This was a stinker. He got nothing out of Chris Olave. He got very little out of Geno Smith, who got hurt and came back into the game. James Conner came back to earth. Brett Maher got him 16 points. I think Tui scored 53 points, and Brett Maher got him 16. Pittsburgh D with a -1 against C.J. Stroud, which is pathetic. The Steelers stink. Battle of Hoboken goes to Mike Russell this year. Will they meet again? Who knows? Both of them are 3-1, so odds are yes, they will meet again. But that is the wrap-up. That is everything that happened this week. I want to congratulate all of the winners, especially Christopher Michael. That was a huge win. You're now 1-3. And I believe, if my eyes do not deceive me here, Christopher Michael is actually in 8th place. So he's in it. This is we got a very tight league, folks. Nobody's defeated and nobody's undefeated. 3-1 is first place. 1-3 is last place. What more can you want? 12th place is 2 games out of first. That's what makes this league great. And I want to keep this league great again. I'll do whatever I need to do to keep this league great. And I appreciate all those who continue to help make our league great, especially the winners of this week. You know who you are. I will speak to you all on Thursday, or Wednesday rather. Again, I confused myself. With the power rankings, which I know will be highly anticipated. Tune in, and I will see you then.